Science has always been the foundation of development and crucial to how we understand our world. Without science, we wouldn't be able to grasp the concept of gravity and the complexity of the human DNA. We wouldn't have invented vaccines, the car, the space rocket, the internet or the smartphone. But even though we have come a long way, there are still plenty of challenges in the future that we need science and imaginative scientists to solve. Neuroscience is one of the areas where the research is changing our basic conception of the brain. Anna Malaruta is researching the brain's potential.
I've always been fascinated by the brain. It controls everything.
Margit Anna Pedersen is investigating young people's consumption of pharmaceuticals to understand what role medicine plays in their lives.
By taking an anthropological approach, I have the opportunity to get close to the people I study. And this I do to learn about not just the motives for using these drugs, but to learn it within the context that it happens.
Performance-enhancing drugs is a known phenomenon in Denmark, and especially in the USA, where healthy young people stimulate their brain with pharmaceuticals.
We see an increase in many young people's use of medicine for non-disease conditions, for example in an attempt to enhance their study skills. And we don't know much about how this happens and why. We know that it's happening at a growing trend, but we don't know the context behind it.
But what does it mean for society that more and more people optimize their brain performance using pharmaceutical drugs?
If the trend continues to grow, it will become more and more normal and accepted to use medicine for enhancement purposes, not just for exams and important meetings, but also for ordinary tasks in the everyday life, such as cleaning or doing the laundry, things that are boring and difficult to do. So boundaries are being pushed. What seems completely unthinkable to take medicine for now might become very normal in the future. And what in the future is considered a problem that can only be solved with drugs might not even be considered a problem today. If more and more people use medicine for enhancement, those who do not might actually be left behind.
In a modern society, with the perpetual demand of being the best, it is perhaps a natural development to artificially enhance your brain capacity. But it might also have some incidental costs that are difficult to foresee.
The use of study drugs is about much more than just performance enhancement. It's about how we perceive ourselves as persons and about what human capacity is and should be. We have to acknowledge that the use of pharmaceutical drugs can fundamentally change what it means to be a person.
Another area of research in neuroscience is brain damage and age-related brain diseases.
Today, up to 25% of people of the world suffer from some sort of brain disorder. This represents a major challenge for the society. Brain disorders can be caused by different things, by genes, by an accident, trauma, or by the fact that we simply live much longer.
The future need of treatment of diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's is a ticking bomb under our healthcare system.
From a socio-economic perspective, brain injuries and brain disorders inflict a major burden on the society. Previously, we have considered rest and quiet to be the best method to recover after brain injury. But research has shown that it is very important to intensively rehabilitate the patient. This way, the brain can recover the lost functions and the patient can regain active life, possibly up to the level he used to have before the brain injury.
If this newfound knowledge is effectively implemented in the healthcare system, it can save society vast amounts of resources.
Imagine a young man who gets into a car accident. His brain is injured, he has lost many brain functions. After hospital, he ends up at home in front of a TV set without any social contact whatsoever. If he is not offered an intensive rehabilitative treatment that is focusing on him as a whole, he is unlikely to improve. Instead of ending up as a vegetable without any social life, he can now interact with his surroundings and participate in most of the everyday activities.
For Hannah Malaruta, it is paramount to get the message through. The knowledge is provided by science. Society has to act on it.
Today, the reality of the political establishment is such that this area is not being prioritized. This means that people with brain injury are not getting the help that we know they need and that is actually available. People with brain injury and elderly people can be helped back to the active lifestyle. We just need to take advantage of the knowledge that we already have. It is extremely important to keep the brain stimulated through learning. By giving the brain complicated tasks, the brain will reorganize itself and become even more efficient.